Upside Down Proprioceptive Mapping. We will be exploring this in a handstand. You can do this freestanding or at the wall. Freestanding is going to be a little bit more challenging. I'm going to show you freestanding first for your viewing ease, but know that anything that I do here can be done here. And I will give you that brief tutorial as well. As we move through this exploration with curiosity, we put our curiosity glasses on, and sequentially, that doesn't mean that you need to do it all in one standing or handstanding. Take your time, come down and go back up, come down and go back up. I'm gonna show you what to do, but it's your job to then be the explorer on your own mat with your own body, taking your own time. This drill isn't a one question, one answer kind of drill. It isn't a specific joint action, muscle engagement, geometrical positioning sort of thing. This is all the other things. This is all of the space outside of that. It's gathering those fireflies in the night to put them into a jar. It's all of that space. And whether you can put a specific answer to it or not, you're cataloging. You're cataloging. It's getting ingrained. You're training. It's going to come back. It's going to process and come back into your practice, into your handstand evolvement, and you're going to see it in ways that you didn't think about. You're going to tap into places you never thought about, targeting and training. It's going to open up the realm of possibility of your handstand practice. First, you want to think about what position you want to take. You set the foundation and then you come up into that position. Hopefully it's one that's a bit neutral and easy for you to manage. That way we can take away that and start to work with that proprioceptive mapping. And maybe that means that even if you can do a freestanding handstand, it better serves you for this drill to do your handstand at the wall. Again, it's playful and it's curious, so you explore and you find those answers yourself. Maybe you do a little bit of everything.
Let's begin by showing you the upside down squat. The first thing I'm going to do is overemphasize the engagement of my toes. And then I'm going to wiggle them and I'm going to completely let that go. Then I'm going to overemphasize the engagement of my ankles. And then I'm going to wiggle them and completely let that go. Then I'm going to move to the lower extremities, the lower limbs. That's my entire legs. I'm going to overemphasize the engagement, and then I'm going to let them go. Then I'm going to bring my thighs together and squeeze my legs together, and then I'm going to completely let that go. And I move throughout the body in this way, mapping
The differences. Noticing what it feels like to engage those areas. Also noticing the residual effect. If I squeeze my thighs together, what else do I feel turn on? And in this way, we move around the entire body. We started with our toes. We went to our ankles. We went to the lower extremities, our lower limbs, and did the squeezing together of the thighs. We can do even more than that for the lower parts of the body. We can change the flexion of our ankles. We can dorsiflex. We can plantar flex. We can evert the feet. We can invert the feet. There's so many different ways that we can play with this technique. Let's go back up.
Let's move through a little bit more proprioceptive mapping. Let's take a look at the different feet arrangements. Dorsiflexion, release. Plantar flexion, release. Eversion, release. Inverted, inversion, release. Okay, now, remember when we squeeze the legs together and then release? Now resist an imaginary door frame on the outside of the legs and release.
And maybe like me, you need to come down, shake it off, and take a second before we move on. The next area of the body we're going to move on to is the torso. Starting with the pelvic floor. Now, you might have noticed when you squeeze the legs together, it kind of had an upstream effect of moving up to the pelvic floor and even to the glutes. We're going to focus on trying to just activate the pelvic floor without using the adductors to turn it on. We're going to work on a co-contraction front to back. And when you're upside, if you think that's hard to do standing upright, when you're upside down, it becomes even more difficult. But this is the place, and this is where we play with it, and we explore, and we try to see what it feels like. All right, let's go back up.
Taking on a different shape this time. Activating the pelvic floor. And release. Maybe if you have it in your practice, you try to engage the Uddiyana Bandha, the low abdominal lock. And release. How about a co-contraction front to back? Psoas and glutes. Sandwich meet in the middle. Maybe also the rectus abdominis and the back muscles. Now release. The release is always the tricky one. And maybe we'll come down, but maybe when you release, you try to move it around. And maybe as you come out, because you know that you've lost that stability and engagement, you plan on that being part of the coming down and out. And you explore the movement in that space. So it's not just a fall and collide with the ground. It's a, hey, on my way down, why don't I check this out? What does this feel like? Let's take a look at that. Coming into an L shape. Front to back, co-contraction. Squeezing my arms towards one another, like the biceps moving towards the midline. Engaging the triceps, resisting that door frame in the shoulders. Now release, and then release and kind of like move the limbs around as you come down. When you do that, see if you can't tap into more of kind of the bones moving instead of the muscles. It's another place to tap into, another place to engage. There is no right or wrong. There is no place you should or shouldn't, as long as you're in a safe place. So let me quickly show you how you could use a wall and do the same thing, and then give you the freedom, because that's what this drill is about, to do your own exploration. Moving to the wall. You can do this by kicking up towards the wall. And here, maybe it's just your toes that graze the wall and the rest of the body's off. You can still flex through those toes and then release. You can still dorsiflex the ankles, release. You can still plantar flex the ankles and release. You can still resist the door frame on the outside of the body and release. You can still squeeze the thighs together and then release. And even here, you can get loosey-goosey and feel more of the bones moving than the muscle engagement. You can work on that Mula Bandha, co-contractions front and back, adduction and abduction, that's squeezing in and resisting the door frame out. And then just remember that you can also slowly explore on your way out of these wall positions as well. Stay curious, explore the other space, and you will come back to that more rigid practice with even more structure by exploring all of these little spaces in between.